Hi, I'd like to share 6 tips with you for dealing with medical providers when you've been injured. First, get treatment immediately. Get help as soon as you need it. There's no reason for you to suffer endlessly just hoping everything will get better. You should go to a doctor or a hospital right away after an accident if you're having pain to get checked out and get the help you need. We see in many cases folks who try to tough it out hurting their own claims because the insurance company or the defense lawyer will argue that if they were really injured or really truly hurt, they wouldn't have waited 2 or 3 weeks to go to the doctor. And sometimes this isn't the client's fault. Sometimes the client will call their doctor right away, their primary doctor, and they won't be able to get in with their doctor for 2 or 3 weeks because of the doctor's schedule. So if that's going on in your situation, we'd recommend that you go to a prompt care, or if it's really a medical emergency, go to an emergency room and get the help you need right away. So there's no reason to suffer just because your doctor happens to be busy. Okay, tip number 2. We really strongly recommend that if you have any scheduled appointments with doctors or physical therapists or any medical providers, attend all of your appointments and try to attend on time. There are a few reasons for this. First, if you miss a bunch of appointments or if you're late to your appointments, you're going to irritate your medical providers and the people that are really be part of your team, the people that we may need help from later in pursuing a recovery for you in a personal injury. But also, if your doctor has recommended a certain course of treatment, it's important that you are a good patient and that you follow your doctor's recommendation and actually show up for that treatment. If you are missing a bunch of treatment, it will invite an attack from the insurance company or their lawyers stating that you must not have been really hurting, or you must not have been very committed to getting better, or you would have actually been showing up for your appointments. And a lack of commitment in getting better can lengthen the amount of time you're treating for. And all of these things just create potential defenses and arguments that you can avoid just by being a good patient and showing up for your appointments. Third, you should be sure you tell your doctors about everything that is hurting and all of the problems you're having. Sometimes we see folks who maybe have a terrible pain in their shoulder and pain in their knee and pain in their back, and they just talk to the doctor exclusively about the shoulder, maybe about the shoulder and the back. But months later, the shoulder and the back may be better and the knee may still be hurting. And if they never mentioned it before, when I go to try to recover on your behalf for injuries to your knee, if you've never mentioned it to your doctor, it invites an argument from the defense lawyer, the insurance company, that you must have hurt your knee later, or your knee must not have been hurt at that time, or that the knee injury is unrelated to the accident. So all of that can be avoided just by making a thorough list of everything that you need to tell your doctor about, like all of the places it's hurting, anything that you're having trouble doing, and be a good patient by giving your medical providers complete information. 4, you should ask your doctors if you can return to work, and you should talk to your doctors about any problems you're having doing your job after an injury. That way they can advise you about whether or not it's safe for you to work, whether or not your current condition is putting you at any added risks of being more seriously injured by trying to work through an injury. So that's an important thing that a lot of folks don't want to ask their doctor, but you're always going to be better off if you ask your doctor about that. The really important thing is your own health and avoiding a more serious injury because you're trying to compensate for an injury and working when you're hurt. 5, make a list of questions to take with you so that you don't have something you're really concerned about that's on your mind. And too often some doctors are in and out right away. And if you hesitate and you don't have a list of questions ready that you want to go over with your medical provider, you may not have an opportunity to ask those. And we want to make sure that our clients have the opportunity to have all of their questions answered. So we'd highly encourage you when you go to the doctor, take a list of what problems you're having, what's hurting, but also take a list of what questions you have and try to work through all those questions with your doctor or your doctor's nurse. So you at least are satisfied that you have answers to all the questions that you came in with. And the final recommendation I have for you, tip 6, is don't stop treating until you're better. Or sometimes we see people who they go like halfway through a course of treatment and then they just stop, and they may have been hurting for 3 or 4 months after that, but it's very hard for us to ever prove that. And honestly, the client, the worst thing about it is they may have been hurting unnecessarily for that time, when if they would have gotten a little more help, they would have had some relief from their suffering, and they may have been able to shorten the amount of time in which they were having trouble if they would have continued with treatment under their doctor's care. So we'd highly encourage you to keep treating until you're better, or until your doctor says, look, I'm sorry, it's just not going to get any better, and you know that you've recovered as much as you're going to recover. So I hope these tips about how you could work with your medical provider are helpful. And if you have any other questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us or visit our website for more information. Thank you.